Hi everyone, so I'm doing this video to give you an outline of the entire variety and portfolio of rebounders that we have. We get this question all the time. Which rebounder is for me? Which one should I buy? This is who I am, this is where I live, this is what I want. So let's unpack it. We've got the widest range of rebounders in the country, in South Africa, available. I would venture to say the widest range of rebounders available for you on the African continent. And the reason we have this wide variety is because all of you have certain needs that's, relevant to your circumstance, relative to your lifestyle, relative to your budget. So let's go through that. I'm gonna kind of step through every single one of them, name them for you, and then I'm gonna look at it first of all from a budget perspective, right? So let's take a look at it. We've got the neons. In fact, let me start with the big ones, right? So we've got the deluxe and we have the 570 Pro. Now the Deluxe is our South African-made rebounder. It is an incredible rebounder, right? It has a weight limit of 160 kilograms, upgradable to 180 kilograms. So if you're in that 160 to 180 kilogram weight limit, that's the rebounder. And that's pretty much the only rebounder you should be on in our range relative to weight. Okay, so this is one of our premium models. So from a premium perspective, those two at the back, the locally made Bounti Deluxe and the Jump Sport Bounti X rebounder, the 570, have the widest matte surface areas. They are our premium range and they can handle the most weight. The difference between these two is quite obvious in certain ways. This can handle that upper weight limit, 160 to 180, but this handles up to 150 kilograms. Now, if you 150 kilograms and slightly below, then the question is, which one do you go for? Depends on your budget. If you are budget constrained and in that weight category, this is definitely the rebounder. South African made, it's a lot cheaper than the Jump Sport that we bring in. And the reason there is a price difference is for several reasons. Number one is the warranty on the cords alone on this rebounder, the 570, is 4 years. So from a warranty perspective, it's an extraordinarily well-made rebounder. The build quality is unlike anything we've ever seen before, and that's why we've actually brought them in. So the Bounti branded Jump Sport rebounder is the top of the range, but also our priciest rebounder. But the reason it is because of the warranties, i.e. 4 years. It's got petals, they call it petals, that run all the way around the frame, which essentially makes the jumping area or the surface of the mat much larger, because on the 570 with the petals, you can actually jump on your cords. So it increments your mat surface area quite dramatically versus the Deluxe. Now the Deluxe, I love the Deluxe because it's South African made. It's a lot less. It's got an immense build quality to it, but its warranties just do not match what you get on the 570. Another cool thing about the 570, so I'm comparing, now remember, I'm comparing our two premium ranges. Another cool thing about the 570 outside of the extended matte surface area is your ability to, with the cords, tighten or soften your bounce. So when you go to the back of the rebounder, you can go take a look at our installation videos for them. You'll notice on the cords, there's 4 knots on the cords. And the reason there's 4 knots, the standard tightness or tautness of the mat is quite soft. So you'll get a nice soft bounce when you get it. If the soft bounce is too much for you, you find it a little bit difficult to bounce, you want to tighten it up to make your bounce a little bit easier, you can do that. All you do is you tighten the cords at the back. So you take those 2 knots and you wrap it around the bracket. Take a look at the assembly and installation videos that I've done for that particular rebounder to see the specifics. So it has adjustable firmness on the mat, and it's not just 1 and 0, right? Tight and soft. You can do every second bracket on the 570, and that gives you kind of a median range. So if you did every second bracket tighter, then it falls in between that soft and that hard bounce, so you kind of get like a Goldilocks bounce. So that configurability of the hardness and the firmness of the mat is quite unique. And again, the warranty on that. And then the third thing is the petals that run all the way around that allow you to increment the mat surface area. That's the reason there's a massive price difference between the two. But in terms of quality of bounce, feel of bounce when you're on these, very, very, very similar. Okay, so that's our premium range. That's our Deluxe, and that is our 570 Pro made by Jump Sport. That's South African made. Then when you kind of take a step down from a price perspective, not quality, price. Okay? It's just they have various warranties that differentiate them, mat sizes. Then you get kind of into the Pro. This is our Bounty Pro, and this is our Bounty Neon. These are brother and sister rebounders, right? So this is the bigger one over here. Large mat surface area. Doesn't really match our premium rebounders in terms of mat surface area, but large enough. From a price perspective, significantly less expensive than these over here. Why? This is South African made. This is made by a USA company that we've imported. This we import from China, a factory in China, and it's a great rebounder, right? But the quality is a little bit different from the others. Example, this has plastic feet, right? So that you can easily take off. The frame of this rebounder in terms of steel thickness is a lot less than you get on these two. I mean, these two have equivalent steelness and thickness of frame. So like example on this, you have a lifetime warranty on the frame, and the reason is the steel is really, really thick. You got thick rubber feet, you know, on your rebounders, on the premium ones. And so this one feels a lot lighter when you lift it up versus the others. This is one of our most popular rebounders though. It's very popular, but its weight limit is sometimes the issue. It's a 100 kilogram weight limit. So if you're north of 100 kilograms, this is not the rebounder for you in our bungee range, right? So this rebounder will handle 100 kilograms or less. It's got a nice big mat surface area. It's a lot less expensive than our premium range. It's got the black and white color cords, and guess what? By the time you watch this video, we will have brought into the country a colorful Pro. So we're going to have a range of the Pro rebounders, which I'm referring to here. That's not just black and white cords. It'll also have colorful cords. Okay, so that's our Pro rebounder. 6 months on the mat and 3 months warranty on the cords. Okay, on the Deluxe, you've got a 3 months warranty on the cords. You've got a 6 months to a year warranty on the mat. Over here, you got 4 years, lifetime on frame, provided that you utilize it for personal use. So that's kind of taking you a step down. Now, the Neon. The Neon is great. The Neon's weight limit is 90 kilograms. So that's 100 kilograms. This one's 90 kilograms. This is in the range that I've just explained. If you take a look at the 570, the Deluxe, the Pro, and the Neon is the least expensive of the 4 that I've just described here. The Neon's a great rebounder. If you're 90 kilograms or less, it's very, very popular. Very popular. Why? It's slightly smaller, so if space in your home is an issue, this is a great rebounder over here. Okay, now if space is an issue, I'm going to take you to our ultimate foldable ones in a second. But if you want a stationary rebounder that doesn't fold, that's always open, because we recommend that you never fold your rebounder and put it away. Okay, we want you to have it open all the time to incur movement all the time. So this is a very popular. It's colorful. The kids love it. People that are colorful in nature, etc., they love that rebounder. And out of our bungee rebounders that are static and do not fold, this is our smallest one. So it's a great space saver, but be careful. On that one, from a budgetary perspective, least expensive, but from a weight category perspective, it's 90 kilograms and below. So let me just repeat this from a weight perspective. 90 kilograms and below, 100 kilograms and below, 150 kilograms and below, 160 to 180 kilograms and below. Okay, so that's our stationary, non-foldable range. Okay, from a budget perspective, from a weight category perspective, and an overall lifestyle perspective. These are great rebounders to have in your lounge, in your dining room, in your gyms, etc. They're incredible. Okay, build quality is, we've tested it, the cords, the type of bounce that you're getting on them, there is no pronation of feet on these rebounders if you're on a Bounty soles from a shoes perspective. So these are incredible rebounders. They're curated by Lisa. The bounce, etc., is all things that she's tested. Okay, so that's our stationary bungees. Now, if you have mobility as a need, we've got 2 options for you. We've got a Bounty Spring, and we have the 350F Bounty X rebounder made by JumpSport. There's a big difference between these two, and I'm going to get to it in a second. So from a price perspective, weight's very similar, but these, first of all, address mobility. So if you're going away on holiday, or you're moving up and down, you have a house somewhere and another house over there, or from home into the office, and you want something that you can carry, and a little carry bag, both of our rebounders that fold fit into our carry bag over there. So these are the typical carry bags that you'll find in our e-store with different prints, etc. So the Spring and the 350F fit into this carry bag. You sling it across your shoulders, and off and away you go. So let me talk about these two mobility options. Now, from a price point perspective, the spring is our least expensive rebounder. And there's a reason for that. This is a rebounder made of metal springs, and people love this rebounder. This is out of entire range in terms of volume of rebounders that we sell, the spring wins every single day. Why? From a budgetary perspective, it is the most cost-effective in our entire range. If you're starting off and budget's your concern, start with the spring, right? The spring ticks a lot of boxes. Why? Least expensive. Number 2 is great warranties on it. Number 3 is folds beautifully. In fact, it folds better than any of our other rebounders because the legs fold in, right? So you don't have to remove legs, which I'll explain in a second. And you can take it everywhere. It's rugged. I mean, this rebounder does not break. Our springs are like indestructible. So if you want to check it in at the airport, throw it around, get the kids to jump on it, etc. And also it's got a very high weight limit, 130 kilograms. And so, but the 350F outside of budget goes toe-to-toe with this rebounder. Okay, and in fact, if budget is not your concern and you're looking for a mobility solution, our recommendation is the 350F. Why? It's a bungee bounce, it's not a spring bounce. A spring bounce is very, very different, right? So if you're an entry-level beginner, you're really, really unfit, a spring rebounder is really good to start with. Why? Because it just doesn't have the same level of softness that you find on our other rebounders, right? And that firmness in the mat pushes you up every time when you're bouncing, and it makes your rebounding experience a lot easier. We've actually got clients that have some of these rebounders that will buy a spring because some of the moves that Lisa does, they practice it on their springs first, and then they'll migrate over to the bungees, right? So the bungees will get you fitter, stronger, and scale your heart rate better than the spring. So the spring, though, nothing wrong with it. Great entry level, great travel rebounder, budget, no-brainer, great place to start. But when your fitness levels climbs as you rebound, pretty soon you're going to be asking us about this range. And every single time I'm in our Nickel Way retail store and someone has predominantly done rebounding on a spring, or they come into our studio or into our store, and we put them on one of these, the immediate thing is I see a smile. It's a very, very different bounce. So from a bounce perspective, easy, much easier than the rest, but you're going to plateau on a spring. So you're going to climb in fitness, and then ultimately you're going to plateau. We see that all the time. And then people come in ultimately to buy a bungee rebounder. So we had the spring, and only the spring for a very long time. Great entry level, budget. I mean, look at this thing. What I like about it, when you open it up, right, you fold it open, the spring, it's very easy to fold open, right, and the legs stick on as you open it. So from a mobility perspective, it's ultra mobile and ultra convenient because the legs just kind of are there. Issue with this rebounder is, like I said, it's taut, so you're going to outlive it, but also because of the springs, it will make a noise over time. Now, people say you can grease your springs and all that, but that's a hack. But yes, you can. So we have the Bounty spring, great rebounder, nothing wrong with it. If you're starting your rebounding journey, this is an amazing rebounder. 130 kilogram weight limit, but noisy, right? So in the morning when you're bouncing and the family's sleeping, noisy. In the hotel room, it's going to sound kind of creepy what's going on in the other room when you're on your Bounty, on your Bounty spring. But really rugged, handles 130 kilograms, great place to start your rebounding journey, but ultimately, just know, in time, you are going to upgrade to a bungee rebounder. Okay, so that's the spring. Love the spring. Think it's an amazing rebounder. Folds up and goes into the bag, no problem. I like it. Why? Because the legs stay attached to the rebounder. So the inconvenience of taking a leg off and on is not your issue. So when you get to wherever you get to, Lisa and I used to travel with these all the time. Wherever we got in the hotel room, you flick them open, you do your rebounding workout, you flick it closed again, and off and away you go. But we used to have the bifold, and the bifold has gone out of our range, and we now have the 350F. I personally prefer this rebounder versus any of the others in our range. Why? It's a bungee rebounder, it's foldable. The legs may come off completely, which is a little bit inconvenient, but they've kind of solved the problem by having a screw mechanism that really speeds up the attachment and the detachment of the legs on the rebounder. It's a quiet bounce, it's a qualitative bounce, and guess what? On this rebounder, 4-year warranty on the cords. That's extraordinary. Like a 4-year warranty. This handles up to 130 kilograms, between 125, 27 to 30. So if you're below that, perfect. Lisa and I have utilized these. We've taken them off remotely with us. They fit into our carry bags. They're lovely because when you bounce on them, it's a quiet bounce. It's a bungee bounce, which is a lot more challenging and nicer. And just from a warranties perspective, it's a no-brainer. It's a big price difference between these two, sure, but from a warranty perspective, that's 4 years on the cord, a lifetime warranty on the frame. It's an extraordinary rebounder. So let me show you. It comes in the box. You're going to get lots of bits and bobs, but what's really neat about this rebounder, to make up for the inconvenience of having to take off the legs every time, they've got this little mechanism that they've applied, right? And this little mechanism allows you to attach the leg very quickly, and it also houses your screws and your washers inside the leg, so they don't fall around in the bag. So that inconvenience that the spring kind of solved, they figured out with that. But also in the box, it comes with this little pouch, and this little pouch you can put your legs in to protect them, and you slip it in between the rebounder over there. Now to open this rebounder and to utilize it, I mean, just like the spring, very, very simple. You lean down, you flick it open, boom, it's open, and there you go. You align some of the cords, and the bounce is amazing, right? So this is my favorite rebounder. Let me just say that. The matte surface area is negligible in terms of size. You get used to it very quickly. I'm a size 9.5 to 10 shoe, and I can easily bounce on this. Amazing feature too with this one, fully adjustable cords. If you take a look at the back here, just like the 570 Pro, this one has fully adjustable cords. So you get the soft bounce, and then you get the harder bounce, right? So to convert to the harder bounce, you literally just do that. You move that out, and you create more tension. So it gives you about 5 to 10 centimeter more tension. If you go all the way around, it hardens the bounce on you, or you take that off and you soften it back down again. And it's fully adjustable, just like the 570, i.e. it's not just tight and loose. It's actually, if you do every second one, it's the medium between the two. So this rebounder is my favorite, and just to show you how quick it is to put the legs on it, I'll just put one of the legs on for the sake of time. Watch the installation videos. You put the leg on like that, you flick that down, and the leg's on. So it's like a no-brainer. If budget's not your concern. So if mobility is what you want, if you want a qualitative bounce that's really going to drive you, the 350F is one of my favorite rebounders in our range right now, if not the favorite. This is the one I'm bouncing on at home. This is the one that Lisa and I heading off to Reunion Island again. This is the one we're taking with. Why? It's a quiet bounce. It's just so much softer than the spring. The spring is quite hard versus jumping on that. But the price difference, right? So getting back, lifestyle. If mobility is what you want, these are your two options. They fold. If mobility plus budget is your concern, the spring's for you, right? If budget's not too much of a concern, I would recommend you do this. If you want, but qualitatively, over time, right? That's 4 years of warranty on cords, provided it's utilized for private use, not as a studio environment. That's incredible relative to this. We're traveling with this at the moment. This is an indestructible rebounder, the spring. So if you're looking for something to just throw at the back, check in at the airport, and you don't have to worry about anything, the spring's an amazing rebounder. But at the end of the day, that rebounder you're going to migrate away from very rapidly in your journey. You're going to go to one of these bungees. But a great start. So budget, from a mobility perspective, spring. Okay, if budget's not the issue, 350F. These are two foldable rebounders that go wherever you go with carry bags, and a lot of accessories that go with them that you can throw into the carry bags. Okay, if mobility is not what you want a stationary rebounder in your gym, in your home, etc., you got 1, 2, 3, 4 options over here. And these 4 options are incredible options because they're all bungees. And again, you have to take a look at weight limit. So 100 kilograms, 90 kilograms, 160 to 180, 150 kilograms. Okay, that's the Pro, that's the Neon, that's the 570 Pro, and that's the Deluxe. That's the Spring, and that's the 350F. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what your options are, right? If you like color and you're below 90 kilograms and you're in that median budget range, great rebounder, okay? But just remember that we are bringing out a rebounder that's colorful, the Pro with colors. That's on its way too. We're just not demonstrating it in here. But if you really want the best of the best, you want the matte space, you want to really take yourself to the next level on your rebounding journey, these are the two rebounders. Okay? These are the ultimates. These have the best bounce. surface to bounce, 90% impact absorption on these, 90% impact absorption. Versus a spring is 50%, 50 to 60% if you push it, versus the floor, right? These, you're looking at about 70 to 80%. These up to 90% impact absorption. So, you know, if you've got injuries, if you have a hip problem, back problem, knee problem, etc., we wouldn't recommend a spring. Okay, we love the bungees for that. And we'd say if you're in that injury area, etc., I would recommend either the 350F, depending on your weight. Again, be careful. If you're above 130, you can't have that one. But if you're below 130 kilograms, that's a great rebounder. If you're injured, this is an incredible rebounder if you're injured. Why? Because you can adjust on these two, you can adjust the firmness of the mat. On the others, they don't have that feature. Okay, so the 350 and the 570, the adjustment of the firmness of the mat, if you feel a knee niggle or a back niggle, you can actually do it with these rebounders. So yeah, budget, lifestyle, mobility, weight categorization, these are your options. And hopefully this video gives you some clarity around it. And again, I'll just emphasize, if you want to ask Stafford, Stafford's always going to drive you towards 1, 2, or 3. I love the Deluxe. I love the Deluxe. This is South African made. This is an incredibly robust rebounder. This is the rebounder that we utilize in our studio. And from a quality, bounce, price perspective, this is a no-brainer to have at home. But if you want the ultimate rebounder with adjustable mat petals for a wider mat surface area, it's unbelievable. This is the one that Goldie Hawn jumps on. This is the one that Kate Beckinsdale, Eva Longoria, all those folks that you see on social media, the stars, they bounce on this. This is that rebounder. So we want to give you everything. We want to give you a rebounder that fits into any space, wherever you go, whatever your budget, there are choices for you. Okay, and obviously all the augments that go with them. Support bars, we have support bars for our neons. We have support bars for all of these, okay? And remember the 350F and the 570 Pro, they've got 2 support bars each that are very unique. Take a look at the installation page for them on the product page, and you'll notice I did a couple of videos for them to demonstrate how you can install the support bars for these 2. Right, incredible range. We love our rebounders. They're qualitative. We back them all. We love them all. And hopefully you've now decided which 1, 2, or 3 are for you.